Good afternoon. I'm on time today. Y'all late today, not me. I'll give it a few more minutes. Turn my jam down a little bit. How y'all doing today? I got my COVID shot today. I was so scared, y'all. I had an appointment this morning at 8:00, but I had some issues. And I was like, I'm just gonna go on down here anyway to see if they'll do the shot without me having an appointment. And it took less than 10 minutes, the entire from the start to finish. That's not including the 15 minutes that you have to wait after you get the shot to make sure that you don't have any reactions. But right now I feel fine. I don't have a sore arm or anything. I've heard a lot of people, that's been most of the people that I've spoken with, that's been their side effect, just arm pains, a little sore. But right now I don't have any issues. I stopped breathing a little bit when she gave me the shot because I hate needles, y'all. I don't know why. I just hate needles. But I promise you, I didn't feel anything when she gave me the shot. I was like, "You done?" She was like, "Yeah, you finished." I was like, "Hey!" So far so good. God has spared me and my husband. I've been traveling literally since I think September or October. I don't know when my travel started back, but I was having a lot of travel withdrawals because I like to travel. But I've been traveling every single month. Every month, at least once or twice a month, I've been traveling out of the state of Georgia. So and I'm getting ready to go to a tax conference in Mexico in 2 weeks. So I just decided to go ahead and get the shot. At first, it was a solid no for me. I was like, I'm gonna let y'all be the guinea pigs. I'll see how it reacts with you all. But with me so far so good. My husband, I guess he's waiting to see what's gonna happen with me. And I guess if all goes well with me, he's going to get it as well. So we'll see. Hey Kiki, hi. Let me see who all is on here. Oh, Kiki, you're on with sorts. Oh, the next day. Okay, so maybe it's too soon for me to tell if I'm gonna have a sore arm or not. I could deal with a sore arm, but I saw maybe 1 to 3 people say that they were exhausted and it felt like they had the flu. As long as I don't get any of that, I'll be fine. But if I do, it's fine too. I had a personal friend who died from COVID. So that kind of turned my solid no into, well, maybe you need to talk to a few people to see what the pros and the cons are and what they think about it. And I knew Johnson and Johnson was definitely not going to be the shot of choice for me because, I mean, they giving people cancer with baby powder, so they definitely not finna give me a shot. So that's that. I'll go ahead and get started today. I got a few church announcements, like the church bingo. So today, April 15th, yes, the tax extension deadline was extended to May 17th. I hear a little echo. Let me hold on, y'all. I can't stand echo. Let me make sure that's not my laptop. Okay. It's turning way down. So the tax deadline was extended to May 17th. Now, that does not include the quarterly estimated tax payment some taxpayers have to pay. That is still due today. So if you are self-employed, if you are investors, businesses, anybody who pays their taxes quarterly, you have to make those estimated tax payments. That deadline is still today. May 17th, that's just for individuals that are filing taxes and individuals that has to pay as well. That's not due today. That was extended to May 17th as well. So I wanted to make sure that you all are aware of that. If you have to make estimated quarterly tax payments, that is still due today. Also, child support. So when the law was first passed about this third stimulus payment, individuals that owe child support, originally they were excluded from having their stimulus payment offset due to child support. That has been changed. That is no longer the law anymore. Now the government has the right to take anybody that owes child support. They have the right to take your stimulus payment. Now, I know personally that a few of my clients that owe child support, they actually did receive their stimulus payment, and others that owe, they're still waiting. So I don't know if baby mama or ex-wife got that third stimulus payment for the ones that have not received theirs yet. But just know some of you all are getting through that old child support, but others aren't. So be aware of that. There was something. Oh, also child support payments. If you owe more than $2,500 in child support payments, let me make sure that's the right number. I'm gonna wait before I make that announcement. I need to confirm that number. I don't want to give y'all any wrong information. Okay. Another good thing that this new American Rescue Act plan of 2021 has put into place, anybody that had to repay the advance premium tax credit, it was suspended. So you don't have to pay it. That's a good thing. Some of you have to pay that back when you file your taxes. It has been suspended. You do not have to pay that back. And the announcement I have is hold on. I want to pull some numbers up for y'all. So unclaimed income tax refunds. You have 3 years from the filing year to claim that refund. Right now, there are 1.3 billion that are estimated to 1.3 million taxpayers who did not file a 2017 Form 1040. If you have not filed your tax return for 2017, you have until May 17th to claim that refund. Let me repeat that again. If you did not file a tax return in 2017, you have until May 17th. And if you file after then and you were due a refund, you won't get it because that's the deadline. So make sure if you haven't filed, go ahead and get those filed and don't miss out on your refund. Those are all the church announcements I have for today. Let me see if I have any questions before I get started on the hobby loss versus business. No questions? All right. So hobby versus business. What determines if your business is really a business or a hobby? So the way that works is it's very simple. The IRS law states if you claim a loss 2 out of 5 years, they're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. They'll say, okay, you're running a business, you just had a loss, you're just getting started. We can accept those 2 year losses. You still have a business. 2 out of 5 years, the burden of proof to prove if you're a business or not is on the government. Now, that third year, 3 out of 5 years, when you have another loss, the IRS say, all right, now we done gave you 3 years and you still haven't made a profit. You don't have a business, you have a hobby. So if you have a business and you file a loss 3 out of 5 years, the IRS then says you don't have a business, you have a loss. So the burden of proof switches to you. Now it's your job. You have to show the Internal Revenue Service or the government that you truly have a business and not a hobby. A question that I get when I educate my clients on that is, how can I prove that my business just haven't started profiting yet, that I really do have a business? Some ways that you can show that will, for burden of proof purposes, become a member of local organizations like the Chamber of Commerce, the Better Business Bureau. Make sure you have business templates like your letterhead. Make sure you have business cards. Just make sure you have a lot of marketing materials to show the Internal Revenue Service, I really do have a business. It's just haven't started profiting yet. Make sure you get your business license, get your EIN number, file taxes. Don't stop filing taxes. Don't stop filing business taxes because you have a loss 3 out of 5 years. But if you're ever audited, you have to show proof that it's a business, or that it's a business and not a hobby. If you can't show proof, then the IRS is going to have you. You're still going to have to report the income that you bring in from the now hobby, but you can no longer report it on the Schedule C. You have to report it on the 1040 on line 21 for other income. The bad thing about that is you have to report all that income, but now you can't take any business deductions. So make sure that you're doing what you can to have a profitable business. They're kind of giving you 2 years to get your stuff together. Make sure you have a game plan. And when I say game plan, that means like a business plan. Stop going out, opening up a business. Surprise, I'm in business, and you don't even have a plan. You don't have a business plan. Business plans are so easy now. Like, there are templates. You can go to the Small Business Development Center. That's a free resource for you to go get assistance for a business plan. And they even have things now where you can have like a one-page business plan. Like, you don't have to have those 20 to 30 sheets with all the spreadsheets and the Excel templates. That's not a requirement anymore. You can have a one-page business plan. I have a copy of a one-page business plan. If anybody ever needs one, feel free to shoot me over an email or schedule a business consult, and I'll assist you with that one-page business plan. I'm going to tell you the best way to get your business paperwork in order. Go to the bank and try to get a loan. If you go to the bank and try to get a business loan, they're going to give you a list of mostly everything you need to run a profitable business. Even if your business isn't profitable, at least you have your paperwork and your financial paperwork in order. Go to the bank and try to get you a loan. I promise you, you will get your stuff in order. Okay. Do I have any questions on hobby versus business? Any questions that you have, even if it's not related to the topic today, go ahead and put them in the comment box. I can't stay for a full hour today because I have a huge tax plan that I'm working on that is due this afternoon. So I got to cut it kind of short with you all today. The latest I say is 12:45. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put those in the chat box so I can get those answered for you before I log off. Another issue that independent contractors are having is they don't know if they are an independent contractor or an employee. The way to determine that is very simple. If your employer or the person that you're working for, the company that you're working for, if they can control the time you come in and leave work, if they can control your duties, what you have to do while you're there, if they have any type of control over you, then you are an employee. You're not an independent contractor. I see this a lot with nail salons, hair salons, mainly with a lot of small businesses. And the reason why it's so much easier to make you an independent contractor and not an employee is because when you become an employee, your employer is responsible for FICA and FUTA taxes. So to prevent them having to pay taxes, they don't make you an employee, they make you an independent contractor. Well, that can have a negative effect on you because now you have this 1099 with all this income. um I guess it depends. I tell you like this, if you are an employee of another company and you have a 1099 income on the side, you can do a Schedule C and you can take deductions from that 1099. That those deductions will also deduct from your regular job income. So it can be good or bad. It just depends on the person and the situation. Everybody's tax situation is always different. That's why when somebody asks me something, I have to kind of know your background, the history of the question that you're asking, because everybody's situation is different. Um, what works for one person won't work for another person. So just remember, anytime a employer controls your hours, what you do, any type of control, legally you are an employee and not an independent contractor. I've even had people to say that their employer asks which one they want to be, an independent contractor or an employee. That's illegal because it's just illegal. I'm not gonna get into that, but it's illegal. Now, if you let's just say you're a nail tech, you have your license and you work at salon A, B, and C on your own time. You buy your own supplies and products. Now you are an independent contractor legally. But if you go to salon A and you have to be at salon A from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., you're not an independent contractor. You are an employee. The negative part on that is you don't get to deduct as many expenses as you would if you are an independent contractor. As a matter of fact, if you are an employee, you can't deduct any expenses. So just think about your entire situation. Don't just base it off tax law. Do what makes sense for you per tax law. And most of the time, if you are an independent contractor, it's for your good if you're buying all those supplies and products. But if you're not purchasing any of that stuff, that's going to have a very negative impact on you because now you got all this income and you didn't have any taxes withheld throughout the year, and so now you're stuck with paying those taxes, and you're stuck with paying the self-employment taxes. So it's kind of like you're double taxed. So be mindful of that. See if I have any questions. No questions. Let me go into my inbox. Y'all, when I do the live on Thursdays, y'all don't have any questions, but during the week, y'all got 1,001 questions for me in my inbox. I don't understand, y'all. Let me see. Let me go to my inbox. I had a question the other day that I said that I was going to address on the live. It was dealing with the married couple. Two married couples, they got divorced, and I think she said November of 2020. They wasn't filing a joint return, which is not the correct way. They were kind of splitting up the kids. They had a total of 4 kids. They were kind of splitting up the kids. Two will go to each parent, and they were doing head of household. A lot of y'all do that. It's not legal for you to do it. Well, and I guess it can and it can't be. It can be legal if you didn't live together the last 6 months of the year. But if you live together all year and you have 4 kids, your only filing status is married filing jointly or married filing separately. You're not supposed to be filing head of household. So mistake number one was they were not supposed to be filing head of household. But all 4 kids were the wife's. The husband and the wife didn't have any kids together. But when you are divorced, that does not divorce you from those kids. You heard me correctly. If you allow your husband to claim your 2 kids and y'all get divorced, he can still, those are still his kids. He can still claim those kids. That does not divorce him from the kids. So be mindful of who you marry and who you allow to claim your kids, because yes, those are still, he's still dad. Once you start it, you can't stop it. It's nothing that you can do. So be mindful of that. Uh that's the question. Oh, you're welcome. Larry, I can't pronounce your first name. I don't want to chop up your first name. So I'm gonna say Larry, the second name. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, that is all I have for today. I'm not gonna get into the PPP loan because once I start talking about that, I can't stop. But I will tell you something. I almost got myself in some trouble with the PPP loan because I wasn't aware. And I'm gonna try to get with a few of the radio stations and even the news stations to try to spread this knowledge on the PPP loans, because a lot of you don't know. There are a lot of myths about the PPP loan. The number one myth is you have to have employees. You don't have to have employees to apply for the PPP loan. It was like that in the beginning, but laws and rules have changed. If you are a sole proprietor, if you are an independent contractor with a 1099, you qualify for the PPP loan. You don't have to have any employees. It can just be you. But the way I almost got myself in trouble was the first lender that I applied with, they kept requesting the same documents over and over again. And that kind of gave me a huge concern. So I was like, I'm just gonna go somewhere else because I don't think that this loan officer knows what they're doing, because the information that you're asking for, I've uploaded it 3 times and you're still requesting the same information. So when I finally called in and got somebody, she told me, she was like, yeah, what you uploaded is all we need. She said, I'll reach out to your loan officer and let him know that you've uploaded everything. I said, so is it safe to say that he didn't really review my document? He just automatically sent it right back? And she was like, I'm not sure, I can't answer that, but that's how I feel. So that's why I went to another company to and I did another application. Well, I found out that in Ohio, there's this lady that they're trying to charge her with the PPP loan fraud, not because of something that she did intentionally. I mean, we didn't know that if you go to one company in order to apply at a different company, you have to withdraw that application. You have to actually tell that first company, withdraw my application, cancel whatever you have on file with me. You can't just up and go and apply with another company. So I almost got myself in some trouble because I mean, you just don't know what you don't know. And there's a lot of information and myths going on with the PPP loan. My um, reach is not as large as other people, like at the radio station and at the news stations. They have a large reach of people that I can reach. So I'm gonna try to connect with some of them and do like a Q&A for the community on PPP loans, because it's good as long as you have a legitimate business. And even if you didn't file a business tax return in 2019, go ahead and get your 2020 file and you can use your 2020 tax return. Something else that I want you to be aware of, look at your, I think it's line 7 on the Schedule C. Compare those numbers to your 2020 tax return and your 2019 tax return. Whichever one of those numbers are the largest, use that one. If your 2000 if you made $200,000 for the 2020 tax year, and in 2019 you only made 100,000, why won't you just use your 2020? That's what determines how much you receive for the loan. Line 7, your gross amount. So let me give you the calculations. If you got, well, you know what? I'm sorry, I'm gonna take that back because the cap is 100,000. So that wasn't a good example. Um, if your 2020 was 100,000, which is the cap, and your 2019 was 50,000, it's best to use your 2020. Even if you did make $200,000, they're not going to calculate it with that amount. It has to be it's up to $100,000. So yeah, just make wise decisions, consult with people. I'm assisting people with their PPP loan application. If you need assistance, give me a call. I cannot submit the application for you, but I can help you get your finances in order, and I can help you get through the application to make sure that you're answering the right questions. I have 2 different lenders that I'm working with. Before I give you all their information, I'm gonna see. I got to make sure that the flow is right, because I would hate to refer you all to a company and stuff just goes left. Then I'll feel bad, and then you looking at me crazy because I referred you, and I'm looking at you crazy because I ain't put a gun to your head and tell you to go there. I just gave you my advice. So give me a few days, and I'll make a post on my Facebook page on the 2 different lenders that you all can use. Um, Mr. Larry, what is the legal amount for a small business to file a return? What you mean? What's the legal amount? You file what you gross. There is no, if you grossed 1,000, 100,000, 1,000,000, 2,000,000, whatever you gross, that's what you have to file. Mr. Larry, please advise if I answered that question or understood that question correctly, Larry. Brandy said she going to have body surgery. Let me tell y'all something. Don't play with these people in this money. If you cannot prove that you were in business February 15th of 2020, don't even try it, because you're gonna have to show proof. Like, they're gonna ask you for a business bank statement, business invoices, 1099K. That's for credit card sales, people that does credit card sales. Or if you were an independent contractor, your 1099 would suffice. So don't be greedy. Don't just let them have it, y'all. I know it's tempting, but so is jail, and it's not worth it. Who going to jail, Brandy? Girl, who you talking about going to jail? Hey, Nisha. Um, I don't see any more questions. Does anyone have any questions about the PPP loan, hobby versus business? What else I talk? Oh, independent contractor versus employee. Do not send any questions to my inbox. They will not be answered. I'm sorry. I don't have the extra time. And once I start answering them, I'm gonna do whatever I got to do to research or read up on stuff until I get your question answered. It's just in me. I can't just leave a question unanswered, so I just don't check it. So if you have any questions for me, Thursdays at noon, every Thursday at noon, this is how you get your questions answered. Larry, did I answer your question correctly? I guess I did. Any PPP loan questions? Y'all gonna PPP loan and LLC me to death. What else do y'all have? What questions do you have about this PPP loan? If you do not have a legitimate business, now if you do have a legitimate business and you just didn't file your 2019 taxes, it's okay. Go ahead and file, and you can use your 2020 taxes. If you have a legitimate business and you just failed to file for 2019, that's perfectly fine. I can get those returns filed for you, and I can assist you with the PPP loan application. Another thing, if you do have a business and you have a loss and not a profit, you can't apply for the PPP loan. You have to have a profitable business. Larry, I guess I'm asking if a small business only makes $4,000, do they need to file? Yes, if you make $600 or more, you are required to file by law. You're required to file, even if it's a loss, even if your deductions that first or second year is more than your gross income. That's a loss, but you still have to file, and it's okay, because guess what? If that loss it reduces your taxable income, and if it reduces it all the way down to zero, guess what? That loss carries forward. So next year, if you have this, if you, let's say you made a lot of money and you have to pay taxes, well, that loss from your prior year business return, you can use that that loss to offset your taxable income indefinitely. You can go back 5 years to take a loss, which I don't suggest if you don't have all your information. I mean, everything. Like if let's just say if you go back to those 5 years, you are risking an audit. So if you know you can't beat that audit, you got away, don't try to go back 5 years, but you can use that loss forward indefinitely. That's good for a lot of people that are making six figures in corporate America and having to pay a lot of taxes. You can use that against that taxable income. So yes, Larry, even if you only made $4,000, you still have to file a business return. But remember, 2 out of 5 years, the IRS says, okay, you're a business, but when that third year hits and you still have a loss, they're going to turn you into a hobby. You're supposed to be a hobby. You got to have some good books and records to show that you're not a hobby, that you are a business. Okay, no more questions. All right, well, I'm going to go and get ready for my appointment. You all have an amazing afternoon, and I'll keep you posted on my COVID. So far, so good. But I'll definitely keep you posted. Have an amazing afternoon. Stay dry. It's supposed to be a ugly weekend Saturday. So y'all be careful out there. Stay safe. Stay prayed up.